What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dutch Come Back From Takes. Well, it's that time, guys. It's movie review time, and this will be the movie titled Longlegs. Now, before I jump into it, this will be spoiler free because if I really delve in, I'm going to give something away. And since it just dropped, it is only my always personal feeling is not to give all the goodies away in these films, especially one of this magnitude. Now, with that said, let's just first of all, let me just talk about the promotion for this film before I jump into it. The way this was set up with the way it was done through, first of all, social media and then also with the trailers, the way it was little small teasers, and the way I like the way the teasers were done. Never gave anything away. Of course, you're seeing scenes of certain instances of certain parts that play into how this story is going to be unfolding with this particular character played by Micah Monroe. Now, with that being said, there were so many of them. I did, I think, only two of them. I said that's enough because I was already intrigued from the first one. And it was a lot of people who discussed it. You see, of course, some screenshots of certain scenes. Of course, the way the posters were done, where we show parts of a scene from the poster. Of course, people talked about the way Nicolas Cage looked. You can't fully see his overall face. Looking rather mad creepy. I'm always here for anything where I know Mr. Cage is presented because the brother has range. I have been a fan of him. Really goes back to Peggy Sue Got Married, but when he did Raising Arizona, that right there hooked me, and I was just a fan from there on out. I love how he can go from comedy to drama to horror, suspense. He can do it all, and in this one, he just again top tier in this film. Now with the director, Oz Perkins. I will say that I'm definitely familiar with him with his acting side. I remember seeing him going back to early 2000s, the movie Secretary, one of my favorite films back then. And then also movies like recently in the movie Nope. I know, of course, behind the camera as well. I know he was in Psycho too, but definitely young, whatever, because like he's a year older than me, so definitely age range. I'm familiar with him and some of his work behind the camera as well as in front. Now, knowing that he has, of course, done some films himself as well, this one I was already intrigued with being with the casting and also being that I know this all encompass, kind of like a, psychological thriller of sorts, and that's always one of those ones. I have my love for horror and all that. Definitely tinkering on that with this one, but yes, so excited for this one, and knowing, of course, who he casted. With Micah being, upcoming, lately been in a lot of horror films, and I'm like, of course he did. It follows. I loved her and Watch Her, and I was excited about that. Did not know until recently that she had to fight to get into this role and all that because I know I want to say in regards to Perkins saying, they go back and forth. When they're doing cast and all that, they have somebody, but then sometimes they can also change your mind because you're trying these people who are playing these actual roles. You want them to fit exactly where the story is being told, and you want them to be able to convey. And I know one of the things I noticed with Monroe is that a lot of she's able to capture a lot in just in her facial expressions and things with it, and that's very abundant in this film. So I really enjoy that aspect of her in this one. So you know what? Kind of rambled on a little bit, but I wanted to kind of get some of that out as well. And we'll say this: I'm glad that he picked her. I couldn't foresee anyone else doing her character, playing this FBI detective, Lee. So with that said, just kind of jump in this one. Like I stated, spoiler free, just knowing how this is all encompasses with her character being assigned to a case that's considered like a cold case of sorts. This one and the way it's kind of dated, it definitely I want to say 70s if I'm not mistaken. If I'm going back, I want to say earlier 70s. In regards to that, you're dealing with a character, like I said, with Agent Lee Harker. I like the way she carried this, her character. Definitely at times very astute of the information she's given, coming up with certain things that she notices and all that. Sometimes, being able to pinpoint something, and then you're dealing with individuals who work with her, like, oh no, don't jump the gun, blah, 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 the things certain happen, and it's almost like you wish you'd listened. Now, and that's not me not giving too much away. The opening scene in this film was definitely eerie. I love, of course, the cinematography. Definitely the music that's conveyed throughout the film in certain instances as well. Definitely captures a scene even more so than anything. With her, of course, working closely with, her actual, agent, Carter, played by Blair Underwood. That was definitely interesting, trying to kind of grasp from her exactly, what he needed for her to understand being, because at first you're seeing a part where the scene where another actual detective's like, are you sure you should be like, no, no, she's, yeah, she can do this. No, let's bring her in because they're kind of hesitant. But I'm glad they did. As time goes on in the film, certain things, starts putting, certain pieces together. Some other parts, still kind of not sure about whatever, but definitely opening up some more information as time goes on within the movie about who this individual could be that calls himself Longlegs. Now, going to Longlegs, played by Nicolas Cage, I can't say enough about the way he just embodied this character. So freaking creepy. I was just like the way overall aesthetic. Definitely. And I will say there is a scene between him and Detective Lee where I just mind blown just watching and just the fear and of her listening to the way he's talking to her about certain things and how came to be and how he makes little, comments here and there in regards to knowing of her, the knowledge of her, things of that end. Because if you know enough in the synopsis, it gives away how this is more on the personal aspect, of why he, at times, inquires about her, asks for her, or gives her something he doesn't want her to look at. Because it goes and centers around certain killings, as you see in the trailer, and definitely significant in regards to the actual, I want to say, murders, significance of the date, stemming around a certain date of, certain events that happen on those dates. I'm trying my best to be as straight as I can without truly. I will say also there are other characters in this film I enjoyed. I want to say, what's her name? What is it? Kiernan Shipka. I want to say I'm saying it correctly. My apologies if I'm not. But another person is her scene with Monroe was really good. The way she talked to her in the scene was just like, okay. But one person who really stands out truly to me, besides Longlegs played by her, is the character Alicia Witt, playing the mother to Monroe. She was so freaking good in this film. And I like how just the way their characters are between mother and daughter, with the phone calls and, how certain things are said and how, not to say cryptic, but just the way her mother talks to her. And then how her mother conveys certain things about, their lives and bringing up certain things and ask her, did you pray? And this and that and other. That's brought up in the trailer as well. So I'm not giving that much too much away. But I just like how you can see certain things she wasn't like, telling her daughter that she should have been, more privy to. And now she's older, still kind of treating her like she's a child. But there's, of course, reasons behind that. And they become very apparent and were brought to the forefront towards the final act of the film. But I will say, culminating, I really did enjoy it. It's definitely dark. I like the way, overall flow of the film, how things eventually progress and things become more apparent. And Monroe does pick up on certain things and all. Like I said, sometimes you feel like, it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. But like I said, you definitely, get a final act. And definitely some things do happen, especially in that last 30 minutes. And you can hear it in the theater. It was just like, oh, okay, really, really creepy, but I'm here for all of it. And I'm still like, I almost want to go see it again because I truly did thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just like how, even though at times, Lee's character can seem very awkward at times and all that in regards to certain situation, all of it, but when it came to the work, she's truly about the work, trying to solve the case, trying to pinpoint things and all that and make sense of it so her boss, Agent Carter, could understand and all that. And I really like that part and I grasp that. But yes, really did enjoy this film. Truly did enjoy this one. I already said I do enjoy Perkins', work, and not to say I'm going to continue following his work and all that, but this right here said it where I'm going to make sure I'm definitely keeping up with other things he has coming out in the future. I know he's working on something called The Monkey. I think they've kind of finished it up, wrapped it up, so it's probably going through final stages with the film. But yes, this one right up there. I forget, out of a 10, I would probably give it about an 8. I really did enjoy this film a lot. Can't say enough about Nicolas Cage. Kudos to him in his film. Alicia Witt, yes. Anybody who's seen this film, comment how you feel about she's a particular actress playing different characters. I would love to know how you guys I kind of fare for that and all that. But overall, I truly did enjoy this film. So with that said, you guys, again, comment below. Let me know what you think. Do not spoil it, please. And with that said, I will see you guys on the next movie review. You guys take care.